All right, welcome everybody. If I can just have everybody just be quiet for 2 seconds. I think I'm going crazy. Is there music playing? Wait, does everyone hear music? Okay, we can hear music. Could we get the music turned off? Thank you everyone, I appreciate it. Go back to your conversations. We'll get started when the music stops. And welcome everyone online. We'll get started in a few minutes. I thought there was music. And like 3 people told me there's no music. I was like, I think I'm going crazy.
You should take a look at
It's a great song.
Can you dance, Aaron?
I'm not touching that. There's too many buttons. I think that's for other things. All right. Welcome, everybody. Good to see everybody. My name is Aaron, and welcome to our May pitch event. We've got some really great companies lined up for today. Before we get started, I'd like to just acknowledge that it is with gratitude and respect that we are gathered here today on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We are here because we have some fantastic partners and sponsors. Obviously, Manning Elliott is hosting us today in their wonderful office space, so thank you so much. They've got a fantastic spread. Thank you, Manning Elliott. And we wouldn't be able to do any of what we do without these fantastic sponsors, and we handpick these sponsors because they really do amazing work. We put our name behind them, and they support a lot of the companies that we work with. And so if you are looking for any support in any of these areas, I definitely recommend checking them out. We also have our partners page on our website where you can learn more about them. We also are partnered with NRC IRAP, and we do a lot of the work that we do with the founders before the pitch events because of NRC IRAP, so we love to give them a shout out. So thank you, and if there are any ITAs in the room here, thank you. And Keiretsu, we got Greg Hill from Keiretsu here today. If anyone wants to learn more, he's at the front here. And Keiretsu is a partner and like a sibling, an older sibling to us. Is this still working? No. Can we sub it out? This is why you have backups. Is that working? Lovely. Can we just make sure we get that one working? We might need a new battery. So Keiretsu, they're slightly later stage. I do see them look at a lot of seed companies, C+, Series A. So we have a lot of companies that pitch here that go on and raise money through Keiretsu, and a lot of companies that are not quite ready for Keiretsu come down and pitch at Vantec first. So really great connection to have here, and happy to make that introduction. Want to get into a little bit about Vantec. We have some announcements to make. We're making a few changes, and so the first exciting announcement that I'd like to make is to introduce Sanket Mittal. So Sanket is joining us at Vantec. We'll give a round of applause to Sanket. It takes a lot to do what we do here at Vantec, and so I'm really pleased to be welcoming Sanket to help us on growing our network, the exposure that we have, the reputation that we have, and just creating as much value as we can in the ecosystem. So I'd like to let Sanket introduce himself and take it away.
Yeah, I'll be short here. Now I have to live up to that applause. But basically, yeah, my background has been with engineering, product, and had a stint in venture. Working with Aaron to bring on more strategic initiatives for Vantec, figuring out how we can get more of the companies out here, how we can be more founder focused. And I know Aaron's going to go through more strategy and policy changes. So we'd love to hear from you guys and hopefully have some great conversations after this on what you guys see of value from Vantec and how we can help further grow that. So excited to be on board. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Sanket. And of course, Lindsay is at the back helping all of you get registered and in today, and wouldn't be possible to do all we do without you as well. So thank you, Lindsay. And yes, let's give a round of applause. So for those of you who aren't too familiar with Vantec, maybe you're here for the first time, maybe considering becoming a Vantec member, I just want to quickly go over some of the benefits that we have here. We do throw 11 pitch events a year. We take August off, but other than that, we throw these monthly, usually on the first Wednesday of every month. Gives you access to over 100 pre-vetted companies that pitch at these events, and an opportunity to connect with other angels and community partners in the ecosystem, an opportunity to promote the things that you have going on. This is part of the policy changes we're going to be talking about how we are really collaborating as much as possible. And we have our summer social, which is planned for July this year. We'll have invites going out shortly, and members get that early access, and it always, well, we've done the new type 1 year, and it sold out and was a huge success. So huge incentive to join as a Vantec member. We also have Dealum. This is what we use to find all the information on the companies that are presenting. So you can see who's going to be pitching, you can see their pitch decks and a little bit of information about them. You can see the videos of the past events. If you do miss them, we are live streaming and we record these and post them to Dealum as well. And it's also a way to organize your own due diligence in your portfolio. So definitely recommend getting to know the Dealum profile or platform, and creates a lot of value for both the companies and the investors. So to go over some of the policy updates, we sent out a survey recently. Really appreciate everyone that responded to the survey. And so we're going to be piloting some of the updates that we had discussed in that survey. The main goal for the policy change is to be a place for active and aspiring investors to share deal flow, collaborate on due diligence, and co-invest with one another. Now, we're not expecting for members to be bringing a company to every single event. Really, if every member brought one deal per year, we would have too many companies to pitch at Vantec. So we are already seeing this happening. The main thing is that we're just looking to have these members tell us what they love about the companies that they are getting behind, and then being a champion for those companies to help them with the connections that they make, to look for the other investors in the room that are going to share in due diligence, co-invest, all of that sort of stuff, and really take a lead. So that's kind of our goal with this. I would say that, actually, I'll get into it in a second here. So, on to the next, there we go. So the big change is that 5-minute presenters will require a member sponsor. So this member sponsor is going to introduce the company and facilitate member-only discussions. And this is something that I've heard from a lot of members, that they want these opportunities to discuss without the founders in the room and sort of spitball ideas, get different perspectives. It certainly is really, really helpful for me. I look at so many different companies and so many different verticals and industries that I'm not an expert in any of those. So I really appreciate the perspectives of other investors like you in the room here. A number of respondents did say that they're happy with the quality of the companies that they see select and don't want to see that change. And I just want to reassure you that I will continue to be a very active sponsor, mostly with the what if hat, but I'm going to make sure that we don't miss any of these really amazing opportunities. Even Vantec could be a sponsor if necessary. And so just having that value of hearing from the investors why they like the deal is something that resonated. So to get into a little bit of sort of what's expected of the companies, we have 90-second presenters and we have 5-minute presenters. So the 90-second presenters, we're always going to be looking for high growth potential. So do they have a credible vision for outsized impact and significant market reach? We're looking for early customer signals, so clear evidence that you've spoken with users, sparked real interest. Something to show, so working alpha, even a clickable mock-up or a short concept video suffices for 90-second. But we are looking for BC roots here. We've started as BC focused, and for the 90 seconds, that's what we are continuing with. We're planning to have what we used to have, which is voting for the top 90-second presenter, and they will get an opportunity to pre-screen, and then if they are selected without a member sponsor, that's where Vantec would come in and be that member sponsor. And we're also going to update DLM so that we have a watch list of all of these 90-second presenters, both the ones that are selected, but also the ones that aren't selected, so that these 90-second presenters come in, they're looking for a foot into the investor ecosystem, they're looking to find a member sponsor to help them with doing that 5-minute pitch, they're looking to practice their pitch, and they're looking to find mentors. And so you can find them at the events, but also on that watch list that we'll have on DLM as well. And we'll send an email with a lot of these details as well. With the 5-minute presenters, we've already talked about the member sponsor. One thing that I am open to changing here is that you can welcome companies from outside BC as well. If you have a company that you really love and you think is it worthwhile for members to see, happy for you to be that member sponsor. But the caveat is that we do want all companies to present in person, so they would have to come and present here in Vancouver. We're looking for all-in founders. Teams that are working on this idea full-time must be incorporated and registered and have real-world validation at this stage. This can be alpha, beta users, pilots, even lab trials that prove the concept works in the market. That is kind of the update on the policy changes. We're going to be testing this. Like I said, it's a pilot. We'll do it over the next couple of months. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we want to go back, we can do that as well. But we're just trying to try some new things. I love the gold cards that they do at Keiretsu. So we're going to be updating our cards to have a little bit more information, collect that interest into whether you'd like to be a part of the member-only discussions, whether you'd like to be introduced to the companies. And then Sankat and I are also planning to do some member-only general discussion meetings. And we're looking at doing these both online and in person and see how they go. So over the next couple of months, we'll be getting together for happy hours, we'll be doing some Zoom calls, and we just want to try to collaborate a little bit more. I'd love to get your thoughts on some of the companies that we are looking at What If, and I would love to see the ones you're looking at as well. So, without further ado, we've got now the community announcements into the normal sort of programming. So UBC has their investor showcase happening on May 13th. Definitely worth checking out. I believe their companies that are pitching are already on the website, so you can see which companies are going to be there. Vancouver Startup Week is one of my favorite weeks of the year, and so that's going to be May 20th to 23rd. There is the Vancouver Startup Week Ecosystem Showcase that Vantec will be a part of on May 20th. That, I believe, is 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. or something like that. So a lot of ecosystem partners are going to be coming out for that. It's also the kickoff party, and it's also the finale for the Startup TNT BC Summit. And so the top 5 companies will be announced, and we will be hearing the winner at that finale. So really a great night to have a ton of exposure to the ecosystem, see some great companies as well. Richard Miller is here from Startup TNT, so any questions for him about that, definitely reach out. Did I hit everything, Richard? Love it. We also have the Keiretsu Forum, Vancouver BC chapter meeting happening on May 13th, so definitely check that out. Speak with Greg if you'd like to learn any more about that. And then we have some other community announcements. I'd like to invite David, one of our sponsors from Future Standard, to tell us about one of the programs that he's got going on.
Thank you, Aaron. Hi, everybody. For those of you I haven't met, my name is David Steinley. I'm a fractional CFO to startup companies here in BC. And I also do educational programming for the founders who go through the Vantec pitch process. So I focus on data rooms and making sure that the founders that go through and pitch today are ready to have a conversation with you and get into diligence with you after the fact. So next week I'm doing a data room training session open to the public. It's with New Ventures BC. It's on Tuesday, May 20th. And it's also, first day of Vancouver Startup Week, so I'm happy that those things dovetailed. Like I say, open to the public, open to founders primarily. Could be investors too, open to that. But my take on data rooms, and the reason I do this is because I see this as a competitive advantage for the founder. Because if you're an investor and you've got a couple of data rooms in a week you got to get through, you know, it's a competitive process. Founders need to stand out. And one of the ways they can do that is by showing how prepared they are, how ready they are to, you know, grow, right? So when I think about a data room, I think about standing out from the crowd. I think about a founder being able to sell better because they're grounded in their plans, they're confident, they're sharp, and also just simply practically getting through diligence, right? We don't want any roadblocks, and that's why I say frictionless. We got to get to the end goal of doing a deal. So if I can help founders do that in any way, that's what I try to do with the data room training programs. So for any founders in the room that haven't been to the session yet, I would invite you to come join me on May 20th at 3 p.m. And for any investors, if you have, say, founders or startups in your portfolio who are looking to raise money and they're trying to get prepared for their next round, I'd say, you know, invite them to come join me. I'll help them get prepared. Or even if you're mentoring startups and you think that these folks might need a leg up in getting prepared for the next raise. So that's what I'm doing. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you there.
You need to give me this?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's nice to hold something. All right, thank you so much, David. It's right before the ecosystem showcase, so busy day on that day. Definitely check out both. I'd also like to make an announcement. This is something that I welcome anyone to do. If you have companies that you are looking at investing in, you've got portfolio companies doing a capital raise, you have events going on, programs going on like David, feel free to let us know and we can put a slide together, or if you have them, put your hand up. I would be happy to give you the floor now as well. But I want to just make a quick plug for What If Capital. So we have 3 companies right now that are raising some capital. We got Sprayworks and Kinetics. All of these companies actually have been past Vantec presenters, and we are leading the round in Sarah Cura. And so if anybody is interested in learning more about any of these companies, come and chat with me. I'd love to tell you more. I'd love to share my due diligence with you, and we can collaborate and hopefully co-invest in these companies. We have our startup visa program as well, so a couple of dates to keep in mind. Did you want to say a few words, Jackson?
Thank you for that, Eric. Yes, we do have the Start Visa program. It's going to be online. That will be open to all full Vantec members, and you will receive an invitation in the email probably later tonight. It's for showcasing some of the best companies that our Vantec members have scoured across the globe, and they've brought it to the Vantec members, and hopefully they'll be part of the Vantec pipeline down in the future. So, you know, if you want to have a first look at it, that would be great to attend the event. And as well, those who wish to be Vantec member sponsors, we do have an orientation that is also online. So that is the May the 26th. The preview event is actually tomorrow at 9 a.m. So if you have any questions, send an email to suv@vantec.ca. But the dates are here, and if you're a Vantec member, these events will be available on D-Loan. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jackson. All right, one last plug here before we get to the pitches for today. So we have a member investment survey that we're doing. This is for the year of 2024. I know we are very late getting this out, but this data is really, really helpful for us to sort of contribute to the different reports and to know how active we are being and be able to communicate that with our ecosystem. So it takes 2 minutes. We will send an email out about this as well, but we would really, really appreciate you just letting us know if you made any investments or didn't make any investments. All of your names are kept completely confidential. We will not share that with any third parties whatsoever. It just helps us to collect this data. Everyone who submits, all of the members who submit, we will enter you in for a $100 gift card. Thinking just MasterCard, something that you can spend on anything, but just to show our appreciation for taking the 2 minutes to fill out the survey. So again, we'll send this around via email as well, but really do appreciate that. We've got someone online there. All right. Now we're getting into the pitches that we have today. So we have 3 90-second pitches. We have 6 5-minute presentations that will follow with Q&A, and then we have them at the back. Might be mixing and mingling, but excited for you to hear all of the presentations today. We've got our old school feedback sheet online here. So with this one, all feedback is really, really welcome. It's extremely helpful for the founders. If you express interest on the sheet, then we will pass your contact information along to the founders so that they can reach out to you and start that conversation. Obviously, you can exchange information here as well, but this is an easy way for us to do that for you. So don't see any phones up in the air anymore, so I will carry on here, and we'll invite our first presenter up, Yanira, to introduce us to IMMERROCK. All right, so hand that over to you.
Okay.
All right.
Hello, my name is Yanira, and I'm co-founder of IMMERROCK. 90% of aspiring guitarists quit within the first months because they find traditional learning methods slow and uninspiring. That's why we created IMMERROCK, a mixed reality application to help people learn guitar in an immersive, hands-on, gamified experience. I'm Yanira, co-founder and business developer, and my co-founder Ivana, she is lead programmer. And we have been working together in the XR industry for more than 8 years now. We launched an early access version on the MetaQuest store, and we have sold more than 1,000 units in less than 2 months. Users are saying that IMMERROCK is a solid tool that is helping them to learn guitar in a fun way. Our market size is more than $300 million, and we are eager to win 1 to 3% of that market within 3 years. We also surveyed over 1,500 people that are and we discovered that they are willing to pay $150 in the first year of using IMMERROCK. We are currently selling direct to consumer, and we are willing to explore B2B, selling to universities and music schools. We are raising 500,000 Canadian dollars for a post-money valuation of $3 million and 12-month runway. We expect to get 30,000 users and $1 million in the first year post-launch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yanira. All right, next up, I would like to introduce Bob. Where are you, Bob? There you are. All right, Bob's going to tell us a bit more about Web Network Platform. So I will hand over the controls. Take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bob Gammon. I'm co-founder of a company called The Model Network. The Model Network is a website that is changing the way that models, brands, photographers, and agencies connect with each other, and negates the use of the existing platforms that are out there. We do this by using AI algorithms throughout our web platform that guide all users towards just about everything they do within the website. The research that we've done, we find that the platforms that are being used today, every one of them, are old technology. They've never changed it. They don't show any signs of wanting to change it. And so all that we're doing is we are revamping this with AI technology. The market is huge. It's a $19 billion model industry market, and we use that for our growth and scale up through that. The revenue stream that we have is through subscriptions and through subscriptions, advertising, and my time's up. So that's what we're doing. We expect to create revenues because of the way that we're implementing our AI algorithms throughout the site, and we are just looking for funding for the MVP, which is about $450,000, and then $550,000 will be for marketing and growth for our company.
Great. Thank you so much.
Great.
Fantastic. All right, next up, I'd like to introduce Chisholm from Budgety. I'll hand over the controls. Take it away. Oh, by the way, there you go. Perfect.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Chisom, the co-founder of Budgety. 53% of Canadians live paycheck to paycheck, 72% of them want financial guidance, but 60% of them can't afford it. We are building a simple but powerful tool, Budgety, an AI personal finance assistant that helps Canadians take control of their money. Here's how it works. You sign up, you sync your bank accounts, create budgets, set goals, and get traditional insights. You also get smarter assistance from Buddy AI, our built-in personal finance assistant that gives you real-time insights, spots on healthy spending habits, and you can chat with it too. In 6 months of launching our fully developed MVP, we have grown to over 1,500 users, 15 paying customers, and $1,000+ in recurring revenue. We have raised some money and have connected to over 10,000 institutions. Based on 100+ customer feedback, we are launching our new version of our app in May to increase low conversion rates. Together with my team, we bring 20+ years of experience in building fintech products from ideation to profit-generating businesses. We are raising $300K on a $3 million valuation to scale our AI, improve our products, grow our team, and acquire more users. Our goal is to hit $1 million in revenue in 12 months with 24,000 paying users and over 50% in profit margins. If you're interested in a business with high profit margins and exit value, I'll be happy to talk further. And don't take just my word for it. Here are some acquisitions that have happened in the past. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Those were our short but sweet 90-second pitches. We're now moving into the 5-minute pitches. And so the first company I'd like to introduce is Drive Hockey. Mike and Adam. Adam, you're doing the pitch, so I'll hand over to you. Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Adam with Drive. Drive is a sports data company building smart arena technology. So I'm sure we've all seen how sports analytics have transformed pro sports in recent years, changing the way that athletes train, the way that teams prepare, even the way that fans consume sports. But sports analytics technology is expensive, it's complex. Fundamentally, it's impractical for any level of sport outside of the highest professional levels, which means millions of athletes at the amateur ranks don't have access to these same advantages, forcing them to rely on gut instincts or outdated methods to support their athletic development. We at Drive have developed NHL-level smart arena and performance analytics capabilities, except that we have specifically built our technology for the millions of athletes below the NHL, right down to the grassroots. We leverage our proprietary AI and sensor technology to deliver better data at a fraction of the cost. This is what allows us to take a pro-level concept and bring it down market in order to capture the massive youth, amateur, and even recreational sports markets. Our system installs in minutes at any arena, can move between venues, and provides deeper analytics than anything on the market, with 10 times the data precision at 80% lower cost. This isn't just watered down technology. This is purpose-built for the 99% of athletes that are currently underserved. And our data is being used across the sport. We have athletes and parents using it to guide development. We have teams using it for coaching. We have agents and scouts using it for evaluations, and leagues using it to drive new revenue. We're not just simply selling sensors, we're becoming the data backbone for the sport. And while we're starting with hockey, we see an easy transition into other sports because our sensor technology is sport agnostic, which means we can turn any ice rink, basketball court, soccer field, baseball diamond, or any other playing surface for that matter, into a smart arena in minutes, tapping into a serviceable market with over $7 billion in ARR potential. Now, we're a data company first and foremost. We only built cutting-edge sensors because nobody else could get us the quality of data that we needed. And now it's become a strategic advantage, enabling proprietary data and AI and creating stickiness with our customers. Currently, we sell hardware, but we're finding that to be a limiting factor to our adoption, given the upfront capital costs for players and teams. So now we're transitioning to a model where we maintain ownership and are able to build out an asset base of smart arena infrastructure by giving or renting out the equipment. We then charge on a usage basis to players, parents, and coaches to access their performance data. We then take this data, aggregate it, and sell it to third parties into secondary markets for scouting, media, and other fan applications. We also take a partnership-based approach where we partner with leagues, ice rink operators, and other service providers to acquire their athletes under a partnership, under a profit-sharing model. And we're already seeing strong traction. We're approaching $1 million in MVP sales. We have a growing user base and arena network. We have partnerships with top leagues across North America. We have an extensive IP portfolio, and we've taken part in 3 sports-specific startup accelerators backed by major sports brands like Sport Radar and Maple Leaf Sport and Entertainment. On top of that, we have an all-star team with hundreds of years of collective experience in elite and pro-level hockey, as high as the NHL, and a track record of success scaling 5 previous startups, including in sports data. We have deep experience in product development. We have deep networks in the sport at all levels. We know this industry inside and out, and we're the ones to turn this vision into a reality. And others agree. We just signed a strategic partnership with Canland Sports, the largest ice rink operator in the country, to integrate our technology across their ecosystem of arenas, leagues, training programs, and events, tapping into their 70,000 athlete base, which we project to generate over $5 million in ARR once fully deployed. And so now we're raising $1.5 million seed round to deliver on that opportunity, as well as a few others that are on our doorstep, to enhance our product and to build out new IP. So if you're interested in backing a company that's not only built a better product, but is leveling the playing field for millions of athletes, we'd love to connect. Thank you very much. I'm Adam again with Drive. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Adam. How is that microphone? It's working? Cool. And we have online as well. If you have any questions, please put those questions in the chat and Mark will shout out here. So we've got a question right behind you, Sanket. Richard, why don't you kick us?
I was just going to say, could you put the thing up for comments and questions again?
Oh.
Because the link I copied didn't connect to the right place.
It didn't work. Do you want to just throw up the Vantec slides? Or try that?
All right.
Yeah.
Survey?
Yeah. No. Oh, sorry, not the, sorry, that's the one. Yes, thank you, sorry. And so, yes, we'll dive into questions. I'm going to kick us off here. I love the idea of changing to this more data play and renting or giving the hardware away. Tell us how that's going to influence your business as you grow, and who is going to really find that data valuable, both from selling it to them, potential acquisition down the road. Just give us a bit more detail on that.
Sure, there's maybe a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot there. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so really what we're looking at with our current technology is actually a transition. So right now, our system is a portable system that you can take to a facility, set up in 15 minutes, collect data, you take it down, you can take it to your next game or practice, which has been great so far, but we are also finding some limitations with that. What we're now transitioning to is more of a fixed installation infrastructure. And that's partly this deal with Canland Sports, where this technology will be permanently installed in the arenas. And what that's going to do is lower barriers for usage and increase our access to users. To your second question around who's using this data applies across this industry, as I mentioned. So players, coaches, scouts, agents. If you get on the fan engagement side, there's all kinds of elements there around immersive experiences, in-game experiences, sports betting. There's another point to your question there.
And so both to sell, but also potentially acquire down the road?
That's right. So the market that we're in sports data, what we're seeing is consolidating very rapidly. There are a few unicorns that are kind of eating everybody up. And that's especially the case for those who are entering the youth sports space. These large companies out there have primarily dominated pro sports, but pro sports is saturated. And they all realize that their growth is going to come at the youth and amateur segment. They just currently don't have products that actually meet their needs, which is where we come in. What's great about what we've done to date is we have a great relationship with most of the players in the industry. our technologies in some case integrate with theirs already. We're already planting the seeds for a potential acquisition from data companies, sensor companies, other sports analytics companies, even sports brands. That's one thing I think we've done very well, is kind of positioning ourselves even now, kind of getting ourselves ready for an acquisition, which we project to be in the 2030 timeframe.
Great. I think there was a question here with Abdul, and then we'll go to Greg and Telcel after.
Nice pivot. I like the way that you changed your model to basically being built into the arenas and everything. How are you going to make money right now? Who's your client? Like, you install in the arena, and then who is like?
Yeah, the
am I
primary.
going to rent that machine, that device, the sensor?
Yeah, the primary buyer is the player and parent. They're the ones that have the greatest need for this data, because the information is needed from an athlete development point of view, and they have the greatest interest in that. Once we collect that data, there's almost this multiplier effect where we can sell it in a multitude of different ways, into scouting markets, into media markets, into gaming markets. So the challenge is getting that data in the first place, but once we have it, we have many ideas of how we can monetize.
Okay, but now my question is, how are you going to reach those parents? Like, you're going to tell them, hey, this arena is equipped with this, that?
So we can go direct to teams, but we're also taking this partnership approach where we work with leagues, we work with ice rink operators, we work with other hockey service providers who already have a customer base, and we essentially give them a cut to acquire their athletes.
Rental, or like how they're going to?
I'm sorry?
The parents are going to rent it or going to buy, or how they're going to?
So these partners will have access to our technology, and the athletes within their membership base will then get to use it, and we're acquiring data through that.
Love the pivot to the revenue model where you're maintaining control of the hardware. Really, really smart. Can you talk about your cash flow, when you get to positive cash flow, and any future financing rounds?
Yeah, good question. So our cash flow, we're more or less sustainable out of necessity. We don't have a lot of cash on hand. We've largely bootstrapped. We've had a couple angels in the early days, but we've been very efficient with our funds. We've also had some great support from IRAP and some other government grants. We're doing a seed round right now that gets us 24 months runway. We're expecting that to reach us to 2 million in revenue, recurring revenue, 10,000 athletes, some growth on the IP side as well. At that stage, we'll probably look at more non-dilutive sources, or perhaps a Series A, but we're pretty much looking at a round right now to get us through 24 months.
There was a question with Telcel.
Congratulations on your deal with Canlan.
Thank you.
I'll be quick to the point. What are the KPIs that Canlan is looking for from your product that will keep them from leaving you as their customer?
Yeah, so maybe some context around their motivations behind the deal. They're looking at enhancing the experience for their existing customer base. They have a huge membership base. Over 70,000 athletes go through their facilities every year. They want to enhance the experience. They look at data and immersive experiences as a way to do that. The KPIs that they're looking for is really just adoption from their existing membership base. How many of those 70,000 are going to dig in right away, and how many times are they going to get tracked? Is it something they're going to get tracked once and never again, or is it going to be repeat? We have a lot of ideas. We're actually going through that process right now with them of how we can make it a very sticky experience for the user, just to keep them coming back.
All right, we've got one question here, and then we'll have to save the rest for the networking. So, Robert.
Could you please tell me who owns Canlan?
It's publicly traded on the TSX.
Oh, it is. A Barker family, I think, used to be people that owned
They might be.
Finning and Whistler. But I think they were in the early stages of Canlan. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Adam.
Thank you so much.
All right. Next up, we have our next presenter here, Bullfinch. So I'd like to introduce Graham. Seth, you're not doing the presentation, so Graham, I'll hand over the clicker to you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Graham, and I'm here to introduce you to Bullfinch Earth, a biodiversity monitoring company on a mission to protect and restore the natural world. We believe that to save biodiversity, we must first understand it. That's why we've built a cutting-edge platform that empowers conservationists, governments, and businesses to monitor ecosystems in real time, at scale, and empower them to take urgent action. A recent study by BlackRock showed that 55% of global GDP is dependent on nature. Governments, NGOs, and corporations are waking up to this reality, but they can't act effectively or at scale and speed. The data they need is scarce, expensive, and slow in coming. Let's take a look at how this gap can lead to catastrophic loss. In forestry, our beachhead market, inventory is typically monitored by hiring a professional ecologist that surveys 10% of the land and by hand and provides a report in weeks or months. A prime example is the Black Hills National Forest in South Dakota. They experience an infestation of black pine beetles, and due to infrequent monitoring, it destroyed 47,000 acres and cost $74 million. To bring this closer to home, in BC, we've seen 50% of our merchantable pine affected as well. So how are we addressing this problem? Bullfinch Earth provides frontline workers the ground truth data they need to make strategic and real-time decisions with zero collection effort. We do this by providing a wearable device equipped with on-device AI to combine the data from multiple sensors in real time. We believe the real power of Bullfinch lies in the instant feedback we give the wearer, enabling them to make decisions immediately and not wait days, weeks, or months for a report to come back, causing repeated trips and added costs. We collect data that others can't and cover more ground with no change to current practices. And how does this continuous data collection play out in the real world? Black Hills Forest officials said that if the data was collected frequently and the area was limited to 10,000 acres, they would have saved $60 million in remediation costs. For our current traction, we have an LOI and pilot project in place with Green Diamond Resource Co. They're a top 5 forest stewardship company in the United States with 2.2 million acres under management. They've been in business for 134 years and are looking to innovate. Our pilot with Green Diamond is critical for us to prove our value, validate our pricing, and demonstrate traction with customers. We are finding real interest, customer discovery is going well, and the list is growing. Our prototype is ready, the MVP is in place, and the roadmap is clear. To be clear, Green Diamond is just one of many players in the forestry monitoring market, worth $3.4 billion just in North America, and forestry is the beginning of it. Some of you may be thinking, isn't there an app for this, or don't satellites gather this type of data? Of course, there are other ways to collect and monitor biodiversity, but they all have trade-offs. With our continuous monitoring and real-time feedback, only Bullfinch hits the right notes when it comes to precision, resolution, affordability, and timeliness. Our all-star team has a diversity of skills and experience to bring this vision to life. Seth, our CEO and CTO, has built his career in wearables and has over 400 million consumer electronic devices in the market today. Kian, our scientific advisor, has built his career in ecology and biodiversity, and his focus on forest ecology will be especially valuable in designing and ensuring scientific rigor in our models. I'll be driving operations for Bullfinch with 10 years of strategic account management experience and in-field experience with sensitive ecosystems. So today we're seeking investment as part of a $600,000 Canadian round. We'll use this round to complete our pilots with Green Diamond and one other key customer, giving us the data we need to commercialize and capture $50,000 in revenue. You're the first investors we've approached. Our window is open now with demand building, so we're targeting convertible safe notes. This will allow us to proceed as soon as possible. Today, we're capping the valuation at 3 million Canadian with a 20% discount on investment, and we'd love to discuss further with you. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, so we'll open it up for questions. All right, we've got a question in the middle there. How's the mic there? And of course, anyone online, make sure to throw those out. And if you see any, just throw your hand up for me. All right, start with the first one.
Hi, I actually had a word with your co-founder, but I just wanted to bring this up. Most of the biodiversity hotspots are in the developing world, which is mostly Asia, Africa, Latin America. Many of those spaces also intersect with emerging markets. So I come from a biodiversity hotspot, which also has a $1 trillion economy. So maybe sometime in the next 5 years or so, but do you have these kind of markets on your horizon?
Yes, of course. We've had to establish forestry in North America as a beachhead market because we have to keep the focus and create our product and release it strongly to be able to expand in the future. So there's a ton of opportunity around the world in these developing markets. We're very aware of that, but we have to start somewhere and we have to focus to release the first product. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Abdul here.
I'm just interested to know, like, is it hardware? Is it software? What are you, like, I didn't get like exactly what is the product?
Yeah, absolutely. The answer is it's both. So it is a set of wearable sensors. So the actual form factor, will evolve over time, but it's wearable sensors with onboard AI, edge AI processing, as well as heuristics and algorithms embedded on the devices, both the hardware and software.
Is there a need for the edge AI processing, or, because I mean, you could capture, it's not real-time really data, right? So you can capture something and process it when you go back to station?
You can, but there is value in having that real-time data. So let's say I'm a trail maintenance worker, right, and I'm performing my regular maintenance. If the device spots an invasive plant, that can be removed immediately as opposed to, or treated as opposed to.
I'm not very much aware of that, of this industry in particular, how it works and all, like, so maybe a little bit of education on that also in the presentation.
Sure, yeah, we could, okay, great, yeah, we can talk more after as well.
Thank you.
I'm going to steal this. I'm going to ask a quick question. I think we've got one at the front as well in a moment, but I'm really interested to dive a little bit deeper into the cost-benefit analysis of this for your customers. So really understanding how this solution is an absolute no-brainer for them.
So currently, biodiversity monitoring is conducted per 100,000 acres, we like to say. So the anticipated spend is $50,000 to $200,000 per 100,000 acres. Based on our math, 4 Bullfinch devices can monitor 100,000 acres at $10,000 per unit. So we come in at that $40,000 mark per 100,000 acres monitored. And with a company like Green Diamond Forest, they have 2.2 million acres under management. So we would save them $2 million per year and create a $1 million contract for ourselves to manage all of their lands.
Great. Yeah. Bizarre.
Hi. I was looking at that nice graph that you were comparing different technologies with yours, and you were saying that you have an edge there. Yeah, but I just want to understand, because like satellite imaging or fixed IoT, they're all trying to reduce the dependency on the actual person in the field, but your device is dependent on that kind of person. So it all gets down to the track and the path that person is, scouting the field.
Yes.
So how that would benefit and how that would help a potential customer to cover more grounds compared to the other technologies with less cost.
So for a drone or for a satellite, the costs are quite high. And unfortunately, the data stops at the canopy of the trees for the satellite. And for the drones as well, they can access some of the denser forests and denser tracts. So a lot of these big forestry companies send out surveyors, send out day laborers, there's park rangers, there's even citizen scientists, hikers and recreational athletes out in the field. If anyone is equipped with that, they're picking up the data and they don't have to be a paid employee, or they can be a basic or unskilled employee still gathering the data. So your savings comes, you don't have to hire the specialists to gather the data you need.
But then you will lose the value of real-time feedback because a hiker is not going to do anything about like an investigation or.
Right, so I think the key from my perspective is that the company doesn't have to change their business model. They don't have to change their operations at all. They're not hiring an outside party to come and walk the land and survey 10% of an area. They're already paying people to be out working in the land, right? And they cover as much of the land as you want them to cover. So if you're looking to match that same 5 to 10% sampling rate, that's easy, right? People do that by, as you say, walking the same track over and over again. If you want a broader coverage, that's easy to do. You just send people out to different places.
I'm gonna have to, I see some other hands, but I'm gonna have to cut it there. We've got a few more companies to get through, so definitely chat with Seth and Graham during the networking, but thank you so much, guys. All right. Next up, I'd like to introduce Caleb to tell us more about Bumpr AI. Ads that move. I'm sure we can. You mind throwing that
video of it then?
Good call.
Oh yeah, I bet.
No, you're good. You're good.
Hi everybody, my name's Caleb. I'm excited to be presenting to you something today you likely haven't seen before. Billboards are broken. 50 million businesses rely on marketing to grow but face outdated solutions when trying to reach their clients in the real world. $50 billion is spent annually on billboards, but they lack the flexibility of real-time insights. And lastly, we're failing to engage the consumer out in the real world. We built Bumpr. What you're seeing here is our one-way transparent rear window display, a bumper screen. Our smart hardware is connected with our real-time software that allow advertisers to launch campaigns in locations and times that are convenient for them, as opposed to being locked into long-term flexible campaigns. We've got 4,000 Uber drivers that have been signed up to work with us, and we actually have launched 100 of these screens in Las Vegas. We've worked with some amazing brands, including the UFC, the Department of Homeland Security, and Barbie. Our AI-powered dashboard puts advertisers back in control, and so it allows them to launch campaigns on our rear window screens in a place that's convenient for them. Not only is it convenient for them, but it's on the best place on the vehicle. The back window is proven to be more impactful than the tops or other parts of the vehicle that have been tried to be digitized before. And so what we've done so far, we're going to be growing this to 35,000. We've got 15,000 right now in MRR. We're growing to 35,000 MRR, that's US dollars, by July 1st. We've got an international patent on our rear window advertising serving platform. We've worked with 14 amazing brands to date. By July 1st, we will have 500 units deployed in Las Vegas. And even last year, we delivered 400 million impressions on those screens. We've raised $300,000 of family friends money so far. Originally, we were the operators of these screens, and we decided to pay the Uber drivers ourselves and then sell the advertising to large billboard campaigns. And we did quite well, and we got good revenue. But we started to realize we didn't have the sales infrastructure and the network depth to be able to launch, to be able to scale properly. And so it was interesting when we got approached by a large billboard operator in Nevada to license Bumpr's technology for themselves in Nevada. And I'm actually excited to announce today that we closed in the bank a down payment on a $15.7 million licensing agreement in Nevada with a Jimmy Pattison equivalent level billboard operator. And so the deal is as follows. They're going to buy 1,000 screens from us at $1,000 per screen. They're going to pay $65 per screen per month as a license fee. The screens cost us $675 and it costs us $15 a month to run it. And so this is not only a one-time deal. There are billboard operators across the United States that are looking for more types of inventory to add to their collection and sell to their brands that already have the sales infrastructure in place. It also takes care of our distribution channels. And so we want to, by 2026, we want to have 2 additional license agreements that would total a total of $45 million in contract lifetime value. Our team consists of myself, the CEO, and Campbell, the COO and systems architect. We actually have 2 strategic investors that are running 8- and 9-figure businesses in this space already that have invested $50,000 from the beginning in our company, and they have got us to the place where we are today. Our next 5 markets include New York, LA, Dallas, Toronto, and Miami. Vegas is actually the 39th largest market in the United States. There are 38 other markets that are bigger than Vegas that we're excited to launch in, and these are 5 of them. Our annual revenue roadmap, so this year we're on track to do $1 million in sales. By next year, with 2 additional licenses, we are going to be doing $5.2 million in revenue. We're opening a $500,000 round of funding, and we are looking to acquire 2 additional licensees. We already have conversations heating up in Mexico City, California, and Florida, and that will get us that contract lifetime value that we're looking for, usually about 10 to 20 years that they're going to be buying with us. It will also help us advance intellectual property and build out our software product roadmap. Thanks again for listening, guys, and this is, we're happy to be bringing rear window technology to the world, and we'd love to partner with you in doing that. Thanks for listening.
All right, fantastic. I see a quick hand go up from Mike there, so I'll give it to Mike, and then Jurong right behind you. It's my not the on. You just gotta push it up.
I can hear you.
We'll do it for the online.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, very interesting. Thanks. About a decade or so ago, I was going to put a display in the back of my car doing something somewhat similar, really to give other drivers a message, but I was told that it was illegal. And are there areas where this is illegal? It sounds like in Vegas anything goes, but you had Toronto on there. Are there some issues around legality and, for that matter, safety issues?
Yeah, good question. A couple of things. First, when we tried to launch in Vancouver, we discovered it was the toughest market in the world to put LEDs on a vehicle, which is interesting. Eastward, we're fine. Throughout the United States, it'll be market by market, and what they're going to restrict is the amount of movement and brightness that is on the back of the screen. And so in Vegas, we're able to do full motion. In Los Angeles, we'll have to dim the screens at a certain point of time. In certain markets like Dallas, we'll have to stop it at, when they or only run full motion when they're stopped. But that's the beauty of Bumpr, is we've hooked it up to our smart, intelligent dashboard. And so when we interact with the screen, we're able to be malleable in this. And so we're able to do that for Los Angeles and dim it at a certain point in time. We're able to do that in Dallas. And so full motion, that's a kind of our thing, but also we can run static and do anything in between.
Great, we have Jurong.
So yeah, indeed very interesting. So the question is, what will stop the likes of Uber and Lyft from copying this model?
Yeah, so Uber does something similar. They have something that goes on the roof of the vehicle. They bought one of my friend's companies. It's a highly acquisitive industry. It's actually something that we're looking to sell in 3 to 5 years, and Uber would be an exit for us. But we are the first ones in North America and the world actually to do rear window displays, and we have the patent on that ad serving technology. There is something similar that you likely have seen. It's like a billboard that goes on the roof of the car. It's digital and it shines to the sides. Drivers do not like that. It decreases their fuel efficiency. It's mounted on their vehicle, and it costs about 10 times more than our unit. So yeah, Uber and Lyft, they actually know about us. They like us. They like that when we have, it makes their drivers look more professional. And so, yeah, we look forward to having conversations with them in the future.
Harvey, we've got one down at the front here. Keeping track of everyone who's got hands. Angus, you're next.
I was going to ask about exit strategy, but you answered that. But you didn't talk about valuation. Now, those are two things that angel investors need to have information on, not just the product.
Sure, yeah, we're raising at a 10 million US post money, and then we're raising 500,000 US dollars.
Thank you. Angus.
Thanks, Caleb. Can you just...
We'll get it.
Does that work? Yeah. Oh. I'll keep pressing it. Can you talk a bit about the customer, the licensee customer? Like,
sure, yeah.
Like what is the entity? Who is the person that you're selling to?
Specifically in Vegas area?
I guess in Vegas, but as you look at the other markets, like, do you know which organization you're going to and which person you're going to have to actually convince?
Totally. So in Vegas, it's like I can't say who it is, we're NDA, but it's a Jimmy Pattison equivalent. It's composed of a billionaire developer, someone that's on the TLC board of the Taxi Limousine Corporation in Nevada, and a salesperson, a ringer salesperson. And so there are these billboard operators in many different markets that are looking for new media. There's conferences where you can actually go and explore new types of media too that we're looking to, start attending. And so this licensing model really helps us grow a lot faster than actually trying to operate it and sell it ourselves. There's many billboard companies that have the infrastructure to take this on and then put it into their sales channels and do really well. So large billboard companies like Lamar, Clear Channel, Outdoor, an Uber or Lyft could be interested in something like this. We're just giving them a product that's ready to go, a revenue generating asset in hand. And they're going to be able to make good money on it.
Thelsa, we'll go with you with the last question.
Okay, a few rapid fire questions about your numbers. I think I heard you say 5 million ARR, but I didn't hear exactly when. So that's question one. Is that the same as profitability? Question two, this current raise, how much of a runway are you going to get? And the final question, do you need to have another raise after this raise?
Good question. $5.2 million will be total sales after 3 licensees are signed in 2026. That's the answer to the first question. Second question, remind me what it is again?
I think you answered the first 2 questions at once.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Next one is,
we are cash flow.
Is it the same as profitability? And how much of a runway for this current raise, and do you need to raise another round?
Good question. We are cash flow positive right now, and so what this raise will help us do is be able to get a couple extra. We're running a 3-man show in the office, and so we need a couple more people to handle deals this size. And so that this will give us, if we did no revenue, it'd be 24 months of runway.
And then, 24 months of runway, then another subsequent round?
Oh, right, a subsequent round. We would look to likely exit before then. This could be viewed as like a seed strapping type business where it's a raise that will get us to the point where we're able to start doing big deals and have the infrastructure to handle them. But we are looking for that exit in 3 to 5 years.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Caleb. All right. Next up, I'd like to introduce Jesse to tell us more about ThermaSpire. Here we are.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Jesse Hudkins, and I'm the founder of ThermaSpire Technologies. Our mission at ThermaSpire is to deliver cooling for AI data centers without waste. So water is quickly becoming a constraint for the AI expansion. AI usage is exploding, and so is data center building data centers. Over $750 billion has been announced so far in 2025 in data center construction projects. And these are now getting built as AI factories. So they're full of these highly performing GPU AI chips. These chips run super hot, so they require liquid cooling. Liquid cooling, you need chilled water. And through the production of chilled water, you consume a ton of water. There's, for example, a 60 megawatt data center consumes 1 million cubic meters of water per year. 10% of that wastewater, or that's equivalent to this lake, which is Lower Joffre Lake. 10% of that lake becomes wastewater with high salinity that requires discharge permits to get rid of. Some of these major projects are running into permitting problems. So the volumes of wastewater can wreak havoc on municipal wastewater treatment systems and kill activated sludge systems. So that's a problem for the municipal wastewater treatment facility. So what are data centers doing to get around that permitting issue? They're turning to zero liquid discharge systems, which are expensive systems that evaporate water off, and so you don't have any liquid discharge to deal with. So I'll walk you through this slide a little bit. So in the industrial unit equipment called cooling towers, fresh water is evaporated to create chilled water. The 10% of the wastewater that I mentioned is then sent to a reverse osmosis system in a high efficiency data center to recover some of that water as fresh water. And then you have brine that's then sent to an evaporator, crystallizer, and then you're left with salts. So this back end part, the zero liquid discharge part, is quite expensive. And if a data center is not anticipating that expense, it can be really problematic. So how can we solve this for data centers? Well, ThermaSpire is developing an all-in-one chilled water production system that achieves zero liquid discharge through the useful reuse of wastewater in a specialized green wall. So how that would work is fresh water would be evaporated in the ThermaSpire system, just like a cooling tower, but instead of that wastewater going to a wastewater stream, it is then used in a specialized green wall where plants can uptake the dissolved solids, and you're only left with potentially useful biomass after you've harvested it. So data centers can lower their overall CapEx by up to 35%. They can improve water efficiency by up to 20%. They have no discharge permits to go get, and they can reduce their system footprint. We believe the beachhead for this device is retrofitting existing data centers. These old data centers don't have AI chips, and companies are going through and retrofitting for AI. This is boosting the need for cooling at those sites. In this example, a 5 megawatt data center in Burnaby has cooling towers capable to cool that facility. But if they needed to double their cooling capacity, we could install a 250 meter wall ThermaSpire system, and we would add zero additional wastewater for their cooling. So progress so far, we have a green wall cooling proof of concept that went well. We filed a provisional patent for the foundational IP and incorporated in December 2024. And since then, we've been accepted into Foresight and IRAP. We raised $75K from founder and friends and family investment. We've engaged a core team, and we've established some great relationships with value chain partners. And a lot of the information from this presentation I've learned from those conversations. So the ask today is we're very early, so introductions to investors and industry experts and customers would be huge for me, but we're also looking to raise $500K in the next few months, and that'll fuel hiring 3 business development and engineers. We're looking to push product development to a TRL of 6 in Q2 of 2026. And we want to strengthen our IP protection through trademarks and additional design patents. I'm also applying to EBC in a couple weeks, and so that'll be coming online. And we're also looking for a lead investor to help us with this round. Thank you so much.
All right, so we'll open it up for questions. Looks like we've got one online to start us off already. Oh, not online. All right, never mind. Psych, I've got a question. You've told us about what the data centers are doing already, and you've got this solution. Is there anyone else looking to solve this problem? Are you aware of any other startups that are doing something similar or to solve this?
I'm unaware of a startup doing this, but my old employer, Saltworks Technologies, is being approached by data centers to solve this problem. I saw that when I was there. It sparked part of the idea to start this company. But they are in this corner doing cooling towers plus reverse osmosis, plus this really cool technology called MVR, which is recovering the vapor that you boil off through recompression. However, that's where those high costs come through. You're dealing with really corrosive water when it's high in salinity, and these are huge units, and they also take a lot of space.
Okay. Any other questions? We've got one at the front here.
I see these green walls, and you implied that that's going to produce revenue. I mean, if obviously you're growing vegetables, that could produce revenue, but how do you grow vegetables on a 60-foot high wall?
Yeah, you can install these using lifts, and part of our system, we have specialized plants that are called halophytes, and they are special because they store salts within their biomass, where most plants reject salts. But to answer your question, we will be on site at least once a year to harvest. We'll use lifts, and we'll go get that stuff for our client as a part of the business.
Maybe just clarify the revenue model, how you're going to be making the majority of your money.
The majority of the money will be sales of the equipment, the engineering that goes in part to do site-specific designs, and we believe that we could own the maintenance and the rights to the biomass to add as a revenue stream.
Wrong.
So what is the specific IP you're trying to protect, you're developing to protect?
Yeah, so this is a device. It's there's an architecture where there's a cooling tower-like channel between the green wall and the wall. There's a special membrane that separates the green wall and this channel where the evaporative cooling is happening. So there is also on top of this a specialized water management system that's patented, and a design for smart controls of the whole system.
All right, okay. So thank you so much, Jesse. Have other questions during networking, definitely chat with Jesse afterwards. Thank you so much for that. Next up, I'd introduce Ben to tell us more about SETTL.
Right on. Thanks. Yeah. Hi, I'm Ben, co-founder of SETTL. And in order to tell you more about SETTL, I have to talk to you about something very exciting, which is young people, Gen Z, the next generation. How we can really categorize them by three major characteristics. The first is their social first lifestyle. Everything they do together. The second is they're always connected and they're mobile first. Their whole life is facilitated by the device in their pocket. And finally, because of that and things like TikTok and YouTube, they've developed a need for instant gratification. They need that dopamine release, right? Now, the reason why this matters is because this group with these characteristics is going to lead global consumer spending by 2030. And it's already having ripple effects in industries all over the world, right? E-commerce is becoming social commerce, sports are becoming esports, and banking, and that's why I'm here today, is becoming neo-banking, or online-only banking. And SETTL is building the first bank for this group. We're going to empower their social finances. We're going to create the mobile-first experience that they come to expect from their products, and we're going to reward them in a way that no one's ever done before. And here's how it works. Our users download our app, sign up, and deposit funds. Those funds are stored securely at BMO, at which point we will issue them a SETTL card, debit or credit, and they'll add it to their mobile wallet, like their Apple Pay. Just like that, the bank is fully open for business, all completely virtual from wherever they are on their phone in a matter of minutes for completely free. We never charge our users anything to bank with SETTL. We make money in the transaction gain. We earn between 0.5% and 1.5% revenue on any transaction that goes through our SETTL cards. And in a vacuum, it doesn't look that sexy, right? Pretty small percentages, but Gen Z is going to add $10 trillion to the global spend in the next 10 years. They're going to beat baby boomer spending by 2029 and move $650 billion in Canada alone between now and the end of 2030. Which is compelling, especially when you look at what the competition's doing today. The banks and neobanks that are in the market right now aren't doing anything about it. They're simply sitting and waiting for young people to age into their products. But we know young people need a different bank than what's being offered today. We also know that that bank is social, which means everybody has to be on the same platform for it to work. And that's going to make it very difficult for competition to peel individual users away from our ecosystem when they start coming after our lunch. But we actually have to get them on our platform first, right? And we talk to our customers and they tell us time and time again, percent savings and credit card points are boring. I don't spend enough money or save enough money for it to matter. I'm apathetic towards it. So we're throwing those away and we're replacing it with what we call gamified spending. We announce high-value giveaway prizes built for this TikTok generation. Think new cars, 10,000 cash, vacation for you and your friends. Our users earn entries to win this every time they spend money on SETTL, which grows our revenue, and refer friends to SETTL, which grows our user base. Once a month, we announce the winners. We blast that on social media, and this creates a nice virality to our marketing content and honestly authenticity behind our marketing content that other banks just can't match up with. I don't know if you've seen like a Questrade commercial, but they're so inauthentic and horrible. So, yeah, shots fired. But anyway, moving on, where are we at today? We have a couple key pieces of validation across 3 key buckets. We have a bunch of key partnerships in place. Far and away, the biggest one is our BIN sponsor. If you know anything about fintech, that is the key to the financial ecosystem, and you have to have that to do business. We have a couple partners as well for non-dilutive funding and general advisory. We have a grassroots marketing engine that's getting a lot of traction with our target user base, all for zero cost. And we have a product in the market called SETTL Split. Now, we can't issue cards or generate revenue yet because we haven't plugged into our banking sponsor. That's why we're raising money today. But what our users have told us is that when we do, they'll be willing to spend about $1,100 a month on our product. So you take that, you put our pedal to the metal. We're raising money today to plug in to our banking sponsor so we can start issuing cards and generating revenue. We're going to break even at around 20,000 users and continue to add more features to our app as we go, targeting 600,000 users and around 100 million in annual revenue by 2030. It's a lofty goal, but we got the team to get it done. Myself, Braden Mason, who are here, have the technical, finance, compliance, and business experience to build and scale SETTL, and we brought on 2 of the best in the world on creating a brand and marketing plan, right, that young people want to be a part of. We have to create a movement here. That's very important. We're raising $850,000. This is going to buy us in 12 months a fully integrated, functioning bank with 5,000 users, generating us around $200,000 in annual revenue and partnerships across Canada, right? We're really raising money to start up this bank, integrate with it, and build the foundation for SETTL. So if you're interested in being a part of the bank that, you know, the largest and richest generation ever is actually excited about using, come talk to us. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll stick around. All right, I'm going to take this out just because it's easier.
Sure.
I need you to tell me a little bit more about this BIN sponsorship. Just tell me, why is it so significant and what other hurdles or things that you need to do in order to start generating revenue?
Yeah, absolutely. So the BIN, it's a lot louder now, it is close. The BIN sponsor is everything. So a BIN sponsor essentially means a major Canadian bank has done their full due diligence process on us, our business model, finances, our compliance framework, really like everything, and said, we will sponsor and bank you. This gives us the ability to issue credit and debit cards to our customers and to hold deposits and to have those deposits be CDIC insured, right? So it essentially means we can operate as a bank without a lot of the overhead that a normal bank might have, like physical locations and having all these other things that we have to have. Nice and easy, right? And I think the reason that we're really raising money now is because we have this partnership. Typically a BIN sponsor takes $2 million and I'd say 2 years to actually get and plug into. We're at the point where it's going to cost us a fraction of that and take us 4 to 6 months to go live once we raise the funds. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Questions? Here, we'll put this back so loud. Yes, that was all.
Could you please add some color to your relationship with BMO? Is that your bin sponsor? Is it exclusive? What happens to the
So-
other Schedule I banks in Canada?
Right, so they're not our bin sponsor. Our bin sponsor is a financial institution in Canada. It's another bank, but BMO is just the one that holds our money, so it's obviously safe and taken care of. They're not our bin sponsor though. So our partnership right now is exclusive, but in the future we can shop around if we want to change our bin sponsor who would give us a better deal, for example. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. I was also looking at geographic jurisdictions. So you're sticking
Yeah.
to Canada for the time being?
So for Canada's sort of it's like a double-edged sword for fintech. It's really hard to get started, but once you're in it, it's a very good protective bubble, right? It's very hard to compete in Canada. So we believe it's a really good place to sort of set up and scale. And then with our bin sponsorship, we can move to America or Europe or wherever, you know, the pull really is. But yeah, for the time being, we want to build and refine in Canada. We know the market and we know the players, and we feel like this is the right place to do it.
Other questions? We've got one at the front here, Senka. This side.
Wouldn't it be a little bit easier if you, instead of trying to issue cards, integrate with already existing platforms like Apple Pay, Stripe, or other things? That wouldn't accelerate your and just focus on that social interaction side of it instead of being a bank.
Yeah, so I think being a bank is quite easy, but you can't issue any debit or credit cards because you have to issue a debit or credit card in order to add something to your Apple Pay, right? You add a credit card to your Apple Pay or a debit card.
I mean, there are already people are putting their cards in the Apple Pay. You would be just another layer on top of that instead of issuing the cards and put it in the Apple Pay.
Yeah, but I think
because right now you are focusing on two different things. As a startup, it would be very difficult to focus on both financial part of issuing the cards as well as the interaction and the user experience that you were talking about.
I don't think maybe I haven't explained the technology, or I'm not quite sure I understand the question because
We can take it offline.
Yeah, we'll take it offline and chat because
it's interesting. But
and in order to realize revenue as well in the way that we do it, you have to be the card issuer, right? Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense.
Right. Yes, Abdul.
So just to clarify, the cards you're issuing is a debit card or a credit card?
Debit or credit and Visa or MasterCard. As soon as we have the bin sponsor, we get to go shop around and say, okay, these are the ones that work best for our
And the percentage that you're getting, that 0.5.
Yeah.
Is it from the processing or who's paying, how?
Yeah, so it's called, so the way that it goes through an issuer processor, and they're the ones that actually help us process the transactions. They take a very small chunk of the percentage on the card, and they pay us out the other. So the merchant will pay the whole fee, and then we take a slice from it, right?
So the gateway they will charge, and then you'll pass that.
Exactly, yeah. So our issuer processor processes the fee, we take the 0.5 to 1.5%. They take 0.01, something like that.
All right. Thanks so much, Ben.
Thanks a lot.
All right, I think I might need that as well here. All right, so we have our last presenter for the evening here. And while I've seen a lot of companies that I'm excited to dive into due diligence with, I thought I would just mention that I'm actually in due diligence through What If in Vegain, and I thought I'd use this opportunity to kind of set an example of what I'm looking for when it comes to the member sponsor. So Melissa and Eden, come on up, and I'll say that, well, I'll introduce both of you from Vegain. I've been taking a look at them for a little while now, almost a month, I think. And I would just say that the things that really attracted me to Vegain were, number one, disrupting a quite saturated market with something that is truly novel and you can build a moat around. So really excited about that. Love the traction, the interest that you're getting from partners, from customers. I will not steal your thunder. You can get into all of that yourself. And then thirdly, I think the background that both of you bring to this business is exactly what it needs. You're changing the face of vegan nutrition with your branding and marketing experience. And so I think you're the perfect people to do this. So just want to give an example of sort of what we're looking for with the member sponsor. And I'll hand it over to Eden and Melissa. Over to you.
Thanks, Aaron. We'll see if both these mics work. And also, we weren't expecting that, so thank you very much.
That's quite a lovely intro. Thank you so much.
So Aaron kind of stole our thunder, but I'm Melissa.
And I'm Eden, and we're the founders of Vegain.
70% of the global population is lactose intolerant, yet the #1 selling sports supplement is whey, a dairy byproduct. This makes for an inefficient and uncomfortable experience for the majority of customers. At Vegain, we make 100% plant-based products that outperform the competition on every level, including taste, texture, macros, and efficacy. We do this by launching high-quality, highly differentiated products that exist in a league of their own. And that's why we are the choice of elite athletes like top UFC fighters and the Vancouver Warriors pro lacrosse team.
We had the most successful CPG launch our 3PL has seen in 15 years of business. We did 2,000 orders within a 24-hour period. We honestly thought our Shopify store was getting hacked. The momentum didn't stop there. The first year we did 140,000 in sales. We over doubled that in year 2, despite being sold out of our top performing SKUs for about 7 months of that time. So far this year, we're at over $1 million. All of this while being 100% bootstrapped with no external capital.
And now we're releasing our most innovative product yet, which I know a few of you in the room have in your hand, Surge, which is North America's first and only clear vegan protein isolate. So think light and refreshing like a hydration beverage, not thick like a milkshake, but still with 25 grams of clean, easy digesting Canadian-grown protein per serving. It's a first of its kind innovation, nothing else like it in the market. And we have spent 2 long years doing intensive R&D to get this developed with a patent pending process that is a novel technology that is totally disrupting the protein and sports nutrition space. The market opportunity for this is enormous. Vegain sits at the intersection of 3 major trends: vegan nutrition, sports nutrition, and functional beverages. All 3 categories are growing rapidly in their own right, but combined to a total of over $400 billion in market opportunity by 2033. We are about to fill a very large purchase order with a national distribution company, which is going to get us to enter mass retail all across the country. And it's the next natural step in our business progression. It's the roadmap that a lot of other comparable brands have taken, in the sense that we've built a really solid direct-to-consumer model for just over 2 years. And now we're going to hit our volume at retail. So other companies that are examples of this are companies like Poppy and Alani Nutrition, both of which have sold in the last couple months for about $2 billion, despite having far less innovative products than we do.
So why us? Why now? Vegain isn't a concept. We've been in market and seen explosive growth in the last 2 years. We have a tremendously loyal customer base with a 55% repurchase rate. And now we're poised to destroy and dominate the market with a first mover in the protein space. We're built for scalability. We have a nimble operation, and basically we have very high, strong unit economics with 60 to 70% D2C gross margin, with 25% wholesale margin distributed, with the ability to that for only to scale up tremendously as we hit economies of scale too.
We already have a national distribution agreement in place and a purchase order for over $900,000, which will yield over $250,000 in profits. We also have forecasted revenues in the next 12 months exceeding $5 million, and that's in Canada alone. These forecasted revenues also don't include our Surge ready-to-drink product in the cans, for which we've already received expressions of interest from thousands of points of sale across the country. And to support this launch with marketing, we are going to draw on our extensive network of ambassadors and athletic partnerships, which already positions us as the choice of elite athletes across disciplines. To make all of this happen, we are raising up to $1.5 million, which will allow us to fulfill this purchase order, enter mass retail across Canada, and support sell-through with sales and marketing efforts. We've already raised over $300,000 US from our customers and community via an equity crowdfunding campaign on FrontFunder. These are the people who've been purchasing and loving our products since day one, and they are the most vocal advocates and brand beacons for us. Through this and hopefully your investment, we'll also be able to unlock a significant amount of non-dilutive capital, much of which we've already been approved for.
This isn't Mel and I's first rodeo. We've built and commercialized a number of brands before with successful exits under our belts. We love attracting and surrounding ourselves with incredible people that are way smarter than we are. So again, we really hope that you'll join us. Since we built this presentation, we're quite excited to announce that we've got a heavy hitter that's going to be leading this round, who was instrumental in the sale of Muscle Milk for $500 million, as well as bringing Red Bull to Canada as well too. So he's going to be joining our board of directors. And yeah, we hope you join us in making Vegain the next big thing in sports nutrition.
So we're going to share this. We're going to give that to Sankat. And just so I am aware, the Surge that you've got and that some people are drinking, that's not on the market yet. When is that launching?
Yeah, it's going to be launching in July.
Okay, so you're getting your sneak peek now. Any questions in the audience?
What's the retail price of this?
Yeah, great question. So we're going to be retailing Surge for $5.99. So we're going to be launching that in RTD and an RTM, so a ready-to-mix powder format as well too. So in larger tubs, but also single serving sachets to really stick to the convenience factor as well.
We got a question online.
Question from Emery. For the protein, how does the amino acid profile compare to a high-quality whey isolate?
Yeah, that's a great question. So all of our products that we use a varying degree of different proteins for a plethora of reasons, but basically for the hydrolyzed pea protein, comes in as a complete protein profile. Even through our pasteurization method, it doesn't heat the product enough to dismantle the protein molecules and amino acid molecules. With our other products that we have, like a standard protein, is we use a tri-blend of hemp, brown rice, and pea. So all of those together kind of have a really wonderful absorption rate and high amino profile. And then for our other innovative product, that was our flagship, we have a plant-based mass gainer with over 50% more protein per gram than any gainer on the market. We use a fava bean isolate for that one, Canadian grown, and that allows a really robust amino profile too. So we really want to gear the products to be good enough for the most elite athletes. As you can see, we work with a lot of the UFC fighters, but also just good enough for the average Joes and the weekend warriors as well too.
Another question? No? You want to pass to Harvey?
What is your Trump strategy to deal with potential tariffs?
Great question, Harvey. We have been fortunate that in our past ventures and in Vegain as well, we've really prioritized Canadian since before it was cool all of a sudden, I guess. All of the ingredients that we have, if they grow in Canada, we get them from Canada, and that's really protected us from a lot of the tariff issues. About 30% of our sales go to the United States direct to consumer, despite not advertising to the States, despite not having a footprint in the States yet. The main reason for that, because it's a big, beautiful market that we would love to break into, because we are a fully bootstrapped CPG brand, there's just more demand than we're able to keep up with. So we've really been focusing our efforts in Canada. That being said, when we are ready to expand into the US or elsewhere, the way that we've structured our brand is we are able to take our formulas that we own, take them to co-manufacturers, and we can absolutely set up manufacturing south of the border with ingredients that are also sourced south of the border as well.
And just to build on that as well too, we already have US distribution kind of already roaring. Yeah, so we already have co-warehouses. We have DCs in Vancouver, Toronto, and also in Seattle, New York. And then we have a national distributor in the US and Florida as well too that wants to represent us with some of their key accounts, Vitamin Shop being one of them. But yeah, there's US massive market for us. But the silver lining with the tariffs has been the amount of support we received from Canadians and the massive market opportunity for retailers across Canada now wanting to put that push in filling the shelves with Canadian products. We're positioned in a really great spot. So we had the CHFA show last weekend. So Surge was selected as a finalist out of the 1,200 brands that attend the show. Out of eight brands is for Product Innovation of the Year. So we basically got to pitch that in front of a lot of folks and had a really successful show and a lot of the massive accounts. So part of the raise, well, the majority of the raise is to service these large POs, which essentially unlocks those massive accounts and allows that big cog to start turning.
Another question from Emery. Could we also get some detail on the valuation and use of funds, please? Sorry if I missed that.
Great question, Emery. So this is a big question for us because we, like I mentioned in the presentation, started our raise through an equity crowdfunding campaign, and we decided to raise on a SAFE, seeking up to $1.5 million with a $15 million valuation cap and a 20% discount. That being said, a lot has happened in the last few months since we started that campaign, a lot of growth and a lot of really heavy hitters hoping to get involved. So we are actually in discussions right now to move into a priced round. And so if you would like to have a conversation about that, please reach out to us, mel@vegain.ca for our internet friends. Please, yeah, reach out and we can chat.
All right. I think that's it for the presentation. So Emery, we will get you a couple of those cans so that you can try those as well. If anyone online wants to try them as well, just throw a message in and I'll make sure to keep a couple aside. But thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so just to finish off here, so we had some really fantastic companies present. Obviously, if you have any feedback, you can give it to them today. You can do it online and we can pass that along as well. We have our next event is actually going to be here at Manning Elliott on June 4th. And so excited for Manning Elliott to host us again. They always put on a great show. Yes?
But you were explaining the sponsorship on.
Yes.
So you did the first part. But explain maybe what happens now.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Mike. Yes. So essentially, what we will do with all of these sponsorship model new introductions, and then the post-event online member-only discussions. And so if anyone is interested, we don't have the new cards. We'll make it super simple, which we will be doing in the next month or two to make it as easy as possible to get you signed up for those. So if anyone is interested in having a member-only discussion, I'm going to hold a Zoom meeting this Friday to discuss Vegain. And if anyone wants to join, I'd love to get your perspectives. I'd love to hear what you think of this company. And potentially co-invest. Well, we're also diving into due diligence. So I'll leave it with that. Hope you all can make it to our next event here again on June 4th. If you have any questions about the policy changes or anything at all, let me know. But thank you all for joining, and thank you Manning Elliott for putting out a fantastic spread, and enjoy. Thank you all.